Hi Augustin, very welcome here at the Schaeffler Symposium in Bühl. I hope you had already a good impression from what we show.
Thanks, Gerd, for inviting us here to your location in Bühl today. It's impressive what you have set up here for basically to showcase your technologies that you have. And it's a real pleasure to be here with you today and your colleagues.
We are here in the area of the SDV. Why SDV right now?
So we are in a very interesting phase of the scaling up of the software-defined vehicle solution, or also AI-defined vehicle solution. And now basically we see a reshift, repositioning to the second generation. If you look there also at the numbers of SDVs in the market share is quite low. But then the outlook for the next 5 to 10, 15 years is quite high. Yeah? So from our perspective at MHP, it's the best time to get in now, because now we have taken the learnings from the last couple of years. And with these learnings, we can now build scalable solutions to transform the business of the suppliers like Schaeffler, but then also basically make a real difference in the automotive space.
As you know, we are Schaeffler now, actually Schaeffler New, being a combination from the Schaeffler Old world and the Vitesco world. And with this, we of course have a long history in everything what makes the car move and what makes the car drive.
Yeah.
So there will be emphasizing really pretty much on motion, on the motion aspect and the vehicle core aspect.
Yeah.
Starting from battery, power supply, up to propulsion, up to also chassis and steering. So all what you need to make a car drive safely.
Yeah.
So in the context of SDV, we of course also are ready to get in these centralized architectures, being it our zone business coming from the vehicle domain, but also we are building up now centralized computing units, in particular focusing on integrating the motion part in a safe, in a robust, reliable way, so that we can really prepare the next step, getting the vehicle digitalized and the software centralized to really enable the real complete SDV idea also for the motion part.
As you mentioned, this kind of solution or the solution space is getting more and more complex. We have now this innovative concept of, let's say, domain controller fusion. So one of the challenge that we see in the market that your customers, our customers, basically need more, let's say, education. So we need to move from this technology pillar and solutions pillar towards, what really does the customer wants, and how do we basically translate this customer expectations, use cases into business models, into then architectural decisions, and that basically also in the context of different markets. China is completely different than Europe, where we are today, and then the US, so and then maybe also Japan and Korea. So basically, one real game changer could be if we do bring more, let's say, education and knowledge to the OEMs to make the right decisions on basically the software applications, then also on the middleware, the tool chain, and then also on the hardware, either on then the high performance compute that we have here, maybe also sensors, and then other parts of basically the vehicle stack. And from our point of view, it's all about knowing what are the control points of the future that you as an OEM need to own or need to control. And basically from that drive then your decisions linked to customers and then also to hardware.
This resonates quite well with our view to the market. We would like to contribute in this, really bringing in the motion competence and also the aspects of safe driving. Well understanding on the ADAS and IVI world, there is already a certain SDV level reached. And in that regard, I was wondering, what do you think about the influence on the chip makers and the semiconductor industry in this field?
So the semiconductor market, or then also the semiconductor layer of the vehicle, there we see a lot of dynamic at the moment. Of course, we have then there this HPC, high performance chip or SoC providers like Qualcomm and NVIDIA that are very loud. So if we look there at the market volume or revenue, it's still tiny in comparison to the Infineons, NXPs, and then Texas Instruments of this world. So they will continue to take basically shares of the market. And at the same time, we see then in the different regions also activities either with new players, look to China. I think that's also a market where the automotive suppliers out of Germany or Europe and also Schaeffler is active. There we will see more a customization of the market with in China for China the semiconductors. if you look then in the rest of the world, we see that also a lot of activity at, let's say, the legacy companies like Infineon, Texas Instruments, NXP from Japan, or the Asian market, Renesas, that are also moving into this market. Yeah, so I think this is like going forward a very dynamic space where we see more tailored solutions for the different use cases. And also what we need to consider is they always need a partner for scaling. Yeah, so if you look at Qualcomm, Nvidia, they then work with suppliers like Schaeffler and others to then basically get their semiconductors automotive ready. And that's then also a big chance again for like the European automotive supply chain to participate then in this space. Yeah, so I think that's one of the, from my personal perspective, very promising and interesting layers to focus on to then also build a resilient business.
Yeah, maybe also we are a worldwide operating company, and that's why we have the same thoughts about how to deal with the geopolitical impacts, but also where to have the right partners.
Yeah.
And that's why we're setting up also a very strong partner network.
Yeah.
And operating then in the individual regions, which helps us to be locally available there. But on the other hand, it's also a challenge to have these multiple solutions then really under control.
Yeah.
Great, thank you for the meeting today. I hope you have a good another expressions from the show.
Yeah.
And see you soon.
Yeah. Thank you so much, Gerd. Pleasure to be here. And let's help the automotive industry to still stay resilient here in Europe. It's needed, and we can do it together. Thank you so much.
Thank you.